It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at an abstract game called Santorini, which I know does not look like an abstract from that cover, but it's an abstract. This game is a reprint slash reworking of an older game, a game from, I want to say, the early 2000s with the same name, but did not really look like this, and so they've taken that game, cleaned it up, prettified it, and they have published it again. Roxley Games has. And so I'm going to take a look at it. As I said, it's an abstract game about positioning, about building in the right place, moving up the little buildings that you are constructing, and reaching the right spot for the win. No scoring or anything, you just boom, you win in this game. So let me show you how this works, then we'll come back and I'll tell you what I thought of it. So here's what the game looks like, set up and ready to begin. This is probably hard to see on the video, but this is a really cool 3D structure here that you are building, made up of different layers. It's very visually appealing. I have to say right away that it's very cool looking, having this whole thing built up. So I'm going to give you a quick look at the two-player game. There is variants for 3 and 4 players, but even the rulebook says, hey, you know, we recommend 2 players. That is the best way to play. So I'm going to show you that. The objective of the game is to have one of your figures, one of your 2 figures here, reach a level 3 on one of the buildings that is going to be constructed. As soon as you do that, game's over. No scoring or anything. You immediately win. All right? So to set up the game, one player is going to put out their 2 figures anywhere. Then the other player is going to put out their 2 figures anywhere. And you are ready to begin. On your turn, you quite simply move and then you build. When you move, you are going to move to a neighboring space and then you build somewhere around yourself that's empty. And so I could have this player build, let's say, right here. That is a bottom level. Then it'll be the other player's turn. When you move, you can also go up a single level. And so they can go from the ground floor to a level 1. However, if this player goes, let's say, here, and then they build a level 2 on top of this one, because you have to build around yourself, and it goes back to the other player, they cannot jump from the ground floor up to a level 2. You have to go to a level 1, and from a level 1 to a level 2. Coming back down, you can come back down as far as you want to. And so this player could move over here, build a level 1, to then hope to make their way up there. But of course, the other player can just jump up there. You can move diagonally in this game, and now that space is, of course, being blocked by them, and they can build around themselves. And so this is where the game comes to life. It's this aspect of sort of controlling where players can move, controlling the height, and eventually you will have a tower that is 3 tall, and from a level 2, you'll be able to jump up to, let's see, like so. You'll be able to jump up to a level 3, like that, and win the whole thing. However, there's one more thing that can happen. Let's say this is the situation right now. It is this player's turn, and they can see that the other player is about to win. And so what they can do is they can move next to the tower here, and then play this, which completes that tower, and also blocks it, and it's a nice visual reminder because it's rounded, the top, which means this figure could not possibly stand up there. And so now that tower is sealed off. It cannot be occupied. And this is another level to the whole thing. This idea of, yes, you can get it up to 3, but if I can block you off before you're able to jump up there, then that also becomes useless to you. That is the basis of the game. And it's sort of hard to visualize how this is going to play out, but it's a highly tactic endeavor. Now, that I explained to you is it. That's the game. That's the basic game. However, there is so much more. Not just a 3 and 4 player game, but then you have all of these characters here, where the players can have a special god power that makes them different, gives you some special ability in the game. And there are lots of them. Things like, you know, being able to build before you move, being able to, I mean, there are so many. They're all symbolic. They're all in the rule book. and they give you a ton of variety, as you can see here. You're going to have all the god powers there laid out for you here. I'll just read a couple of them to you just to exemplify what I'm talking about here. One of them, for example, is going to let you build, when you move your worker, you can build one additional block, not the dome, on top of your first block. Very cool. We have another one that has a different win condition, which is you will also win if your worker moves down 2 or more levels. And I've played that one I really enjoy to play with that, and it's very cool because if this was a situation and this player blocks here, if I'm playing these, just jumping down wins me the game. From a level 2 or from a level 2 coming back down, boom, I win the game. And it creates all new sort of situations, new ideas, new abilities, things to watch out for. Now, on top of that, and all of those god powers, you can also play with the Golden Fleece here, which comes in the box. The Golden Fleece expansion gives you a little token that is very cool looking, little plastic token there. This is going to get placed on the board somewhere. You are going to have a single god power. Some of them, not all of them can do this, but some of them. And you're going to have a single one. The players will not have their own. And being next to the Golden Fleece allows you to have this power on your turn. Also creates very interesting powers, very interesting sort of movements on the board because you want to be next to that if you want to utilize that special power. On top of that, you have hero powers, where they're like really powerful concepts, really powerful moves, but you get them once per game. And so you have those. Those also came in the Golden Fleece box there. And so lots of different modes, sort of variety. Lots of different ways to tackle the base game. But even just the very, very basics, the game is going to have a lot of tactics, be very interesting, So that's it. That should give you a good idea of how the game operates. Now, not seeing a game play out is perhaps going to leave you scratching your head a little bit as to how it does play out, but it should give you an idea of everything and give you a great look at all of these cool looking buildings in 3D as they are sitting here on the board. All right, so there you have it. Let's go back up top. Let me give you some final thoughts about Santorini. I just have to say again how gorgeous this game is. It's so good looking. I love the way the cover looks. I love the illustrations of the little cartoony gods and heroes and all of that. And the artwork is all over the cards, all over the game. You can tell it's from the same artist, or at least in the very, very same style, which I like. The components are fantastic. The original game was much more abstract, right? And the pieces indicated that. This one, they've added this theme, which really fits. The game is, again, quote-unquote abstract, but this theme that they brought to life, it's technically the same theme as in the original game. But the way they shaped the buildings, the way the cards are illustrated, it's just such a good-looking game, And this one, on top of being beautiful and being a tight, abstract game, a quick one I can play with anyone, then gives you all of this longevity in the box with all of the god powers and the Golden Fleece and all of that other stuff. Most abstract games, the really good ones anyway, do tend to look good. They're very lavish, typically, or very elegant. But the longevity in the game is just the idea that, you're going to learn in a minute, you're going to play for a lifetime. This game is so deep. That's cool. I like that. This game does all of that and then tells you, and also, here's like 3 variants, and here's all these god powers you can play with, and here's all of this stuff to keep the game fresh. And I think that's fantastic. I love that they did that. This is a very solid package. One of the better games I've played this year, certainly. I'm going to give this one a seal of excellence. Really like it. If you enjoy abstract games at all, this is one you've got to check out. If you're not aware of the original, you got to check this one out. If you have the original, you got to get this upgrade, It's just such a beautiful production and a fun, tight, quick game. Really like playing this one. And you can teach it to anybody. I mean, these rules, this is everything I taught you at the beginning. That's enough to play the game. That's all you need, right? But then you throw all that other stuff on top of it. Anyway, I'm rambling because this is so fun. That's going to be it for me. As I said, seal of excellence on this one. Check it out, folks. Santorini, 2 thumbs up from me.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.